When the drums told the nation Nigeria's untold history. The drum began before the sun rose, an ancient heartbeat that threaded through forests, palaces, and dusty market alleys. It traveled from Nock's clay whispers to Benin's bronzed crowns, from the wise smoke of Ila-Ife to the soaring sermons of the Sokoto plains. Wherever the drum spoke, people answered, traders, kings, farmers, children, each adding a stitch to a tapestry called Nigeria. Once, in a city of red earth, a young story finder named Amina listened to that drum. She traced its echoes to a carved throne where bronzes smiled with secrets. The artifacts told of artists who hammered history into metal. She walked on, and the drum's rhythm changed. Now it told of ocean voyages, of coastal ports where ships traded salt and stories and sorrow, telling the painful tale of lives taken and sold as cargo. The sea taught Amina the lesson that history keeps both pride and grief. The drum grew louder in the 19th century. It beat with the footfalls of travelers and the hush of treaties, the arrival of strange uniforms and the stamping of new maps. People's names changed beneath distant flags, and old borders were invisible lines on paper. Yet the drum refused to be silenced. It learned new words, nation, rights, vote, and taught them back to anyone who would listen. October 1st, 1960. The drum roared like thunder and sighed like relief. Flags rose. Men and women in white stood under a sky that smelled of promise. A new nation stretched its arms, united in hope but braided with differences. And Amina, now older, a teacher, remembered the throne and the ocean and the courts. She knew the drum would not spare them the hard lessons ahead. War came, bitter and loud, when the drum's rhythm splintered. Families were torn, hunger followed, and names once whispered at home became headlines. Millions mourned, the drum beat slower, heavier. But even in silence, the drum gathered courage. It became a call to rebuild. Schools, hospitals, books, businesses, small lights knitting the dark back together. Later still, when the oil shimmered under Nigeria's soil, there were fortunes and new fights. New songs rose, about growth, about cities that never slept, about Nollywood stars and tech innovators who tapped the drum for something cleverer. An app, a film, a startup idea. Young people like you learned the drum's modern beats, how money moves, how ideas spread, how a single tweet can spark a debate or a business. Amina's last lesson to her students was simple. History is a drum you can dance to or be trampled by. Learn its rhythms. So the students danced, and some listened, then acted. They started channels and podcasts. They planted businesses and invested small coins into new gardens, diversifying like the old traders did long ago, spreading risk, seeking growth, sharing the harvest. The drum still plays. It will play when you cut a ribbon for your first channel, and it will play if you trip over mistakes. It will play when you invest a little and when you give to a neighbor. If you listen, truly listen, you'll hear both the past's warnings and its wisdom. That is how a nation survives, by remembering, by daring, and by teaching the next generation to drum their own stories. So when you tell Nigeria's history, tell it like a drum, honest, rhythmic, full of memory and possibility. Let people dance, cry, learn, and then stand up and act.